All right, we're going to go ahead to Florida. It's not what you think. It's just, Florida, you start to laugh. Florida is leading the nation in COVID cases on a per capita basis again, and they are also the leading state with the UK B.1.17 variant. We've got a news clip that will roll. We'll unpack it a little bit.
Florida leads the country in B.1.1.7 variants, and local doctors are worried that spring breakers may be headed home with more than just souvenirs.
Yeah, I actually am a little surprised with how many people we're seeing this spring break.
It's certainly busier than last year. Orlando International Airport predicted a 45% increase in travel this spring break over last. Walt Disney World sold out for the week, and everyone seems to be hitting the beaches.
When I see these young adults shoulder to shoulder on the beaches, in the bars, without any social distancing, very few are wearing the mask, they will easily contract this variant and virus and take it back to their families and friends and their states. So this is my biggest concern.
The B.1.1.7 strain originated in the UK. The latest data from the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows more than 4,600 cases of the B.1.1.7 have now been identified in the U.S. But Dr. Khan believes the actual number may be even higher because variants are identified through random sampling. Florida is reporting the highest number at 738, followed by Michigan with 616 and California with 375. A stark contrast to states like Montana, Missouri, and Mississippi that have less than 10, and Arkansas is only 1.
It is 59 to 74% more contagious than any other variant and 30% deadlier than any other variant. By the end of this month or early next month, that can become the dominant variant in the entire country.
Doctors urge spring breakers to remember what you see on Florida beaches doesn't reflect the ongoing battle against coronavirus.
In the emergency room, people are definitely still concerned about getting COVID-19. You can't stop people. I wish they would just use a little bit more logic in creating some of their decisions.
Sonika Donge, WESH 2 News.
So one of the things that's coming out of Florida, actually several things, is over the weekend, we learned that in Miami Beach, they had to deploy riot police and SWAT teams to break up beach parties. Over 1,000 arrests, restaurants destroyed, wall-to-wall people to the point where you couldn't even move, and people not wearing masks. There were reports that the airlines were selling tickets from Philadelphia and New York City as cheap as $50 round trip. And the other thing is be mindful, although vaccination is going on across the country, in many states, some states are starting to tip over, and a growing number of states are tipping over. But in many states, people that are of younger age and going to spring break aren't vaccinated. And the other thing is that some of these variants, particularly the UK variant and the South African variant, the vaccinations that aren't Johnson & Johnson and not as effective on these new variants. The Johnson & Johnson one is interesting. It's more effective on the new variants and actually not as effective on the existing or more common strains we have right now. So it's a situation that is worth watching down there in Florida because, Jennifer, it begs the question, what happens is they all go home and they span out, especially in urban areas like New York City, which is opening back up and is densely populated.
Yeah, no, I mean, it was a couple months ago, a friend of mine actually traveled to see some family in Florida, and they were like, it's like nothing's happening here, which is particularly interesting because if you look at the video, that's exactly what it looks like. But you're right. The thing is, you're going to have a bunch of people travel for spring break to Florida because that's where everybody wants to be. And then they're going to come back. And a lot of these are, of course, like you mentioned, unvaccinated young people, and further spread this this virus and, potentially undo some of the gains that we've made recently.